Welcome back to Friday Night Fights. Tonight we have Caesar the Clown versus Smoker. Begin. Hope you guys don't mind a voiceover gameplay tonight. Smoker starting first, starting with one Don and a Virgo. Search the top 5 for a Punk Hazard type card. Put it in your hand, put the rest on the bottom. Yeah, there's a lot going on at the shop tonight with that new Magic the Gathering Dragon set, so there was a lot of commotion in the background, so I figured a voiceover would be the way to go. I found a number 13 Dragon. I passed the turn off to Caesar. Gets his 2 Don, taps 2 Don for also a number 13 Dragon, which is a blocker. Alright, second turn for Smoker. 3 Don. Tap 2 for a Monet. Activate main, you may rest this character, give -1 to an opponent's character, give 2 rested Don to your leader. I'm just going to activate that ability, -1k on his blocker, 2 rested Don to Smoker. Debating on if I want to add the 3rd Don, but I just swing for 7,000, which Caesar blocks with his dragon. Pass turn back over to Caesar. 4 Don. Taps 4 for another Caesar the Clown. This one on KO, you add up to 1 smiley from your deck to your hand, so that's pretty scary. He's got all the smileys in that deck. Then he swings Caesar at Monet, I do believe, which I choose to let it go. Alright, 5 Don for Smoker. Tapping 4 for Tony Chopper blocker. On opponent's turn, it gains 2,000 power. Then I swing 6k with Smoker. He takes 1 life, and I pass the turn. Alright, Caesar taps 1 for the Punk Hazard stage area, which he uses to great effect to add on to his leader. Then he taps 2 for a Monet, which is a combo piece in his deck. He activates Monet's ability, gives -1,000 to my chopper, adds 2 Don to his Caesar, which he can use Caesar's ability to KO one of my characters with 4,000 power or less by returning his Monet to his hand. And he decides to swing 8 at me, returning the Monet and trying to KO my chopper. I remind him that chopper is bigger on his turn, so he KOs the Virgo instead. And then let's see if I counter out of this attack or not. Debating on if I want to sacrifice my chopper, I decide not to counter, and I take 1 life. Alright, back to Smoker's turn. 2 Don. Tapping 2 for my other little blocker, number 13 Dragon, which he'll probably just kill with his Monet, but at least he'll not be targeting my chopper. Tapping 3 for a Sanji. Really cool pull I had last week. On my turn, I think it gains like 3,000 power, and then when it dies, it draws a card. And this is like the full art version. Then I decide to swing at 6 with Smoker. He takes another life. And then I pass the turn with 1 Dawn active. Haven't really found any of my top end, so it's kind of like, oh, Smoker. We need some 7,000 power characters to activate our effects. He replays the Monet, activates his Punk Hazard to give Arrested Dawn to Caesar. Taps 2 Dawn for a Gum Gum UFO, minus 4,000 power to one of my characters, and then if he has 2 life or less, he buffs one of his characters by 1,000. So he chooses to buff his Caesar. He activates Monet to give 2 Arrested Dawn to his leader. Now he's deciding which of my characters he's gonna kill. Oh, taps 3 Dawn for a brown beard. Going to combat now, he swings his Caesar at me, activating its ability to return Monet and KOing my blocker chopper. And now I gotta decide if I want to use my other blocker, which I decide to because he's just gonna kill it next turn anyway. Then he swings his Caesar at me, which I use a radical beam to counter his attack. Alright, back to Smoker's turn. See what we can do. Hopefully we can find a buffer character so I can start activating my ability. First I decide to swing with Sanji. I guess I get plus 3,000 on my turn, so it's a 6,000 attack. He counters out of it with 2 1Ks. And I tap 9 Dawn for Edward Newgate. On play, he buffs my leader until the next turn, so like for my whole opponent's turn, my leader will be a 7,000. Then I use my leader's effect to untap 2 Dawn, go to combat, swinging 7,000 with my leader, which he takes a life. Alright, back over to Caesar. Alright, Caesar's activating 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dawn to play the 7-drop Caesar. Search the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal a Smiley character from among them, put it in your hand, place the rest on the bottom in any order, then you may play a Smiley for free from your hand. He looks at the top 5. He does find a Smiley, which he adds to his hand. Putting the rest on the bottom, he then plays Smiley for free on play. If you have a Punk Hazard leader, Smiley gives minus 3,000 power to one of your opponent's characters, which he chooses Edward Newgate. He activates his stage to give 1 Rested Dawn to Caesar the Clown, his leader. He then gives another active Dawn, making Caesar 7,000 power. Going to combat, he swings 7k at me, using his ability to kill my Sanji. And he returns his 7-drop Caesar to his hand so he can find a Smiley. In the next turn, on death, Sanji does draw me a card, and I still have to deal with this 7,000 attack. Fortunately, Edward Newgate was played last turn, so my leader is at 7k, so I use a 1k counter to avoid the attack. Seeing as he has no other attackers he can use because my leader is at 7k, Caesar passes the turn back to me. Alright, back to my turn. See what we can do. It's our 10 Dawn turn. Draw a card for turn. Activate 5 Dawn to play Smoker. This is a banish, and then activate main if you can restand 1 Don. So I use my leader's effect first, and then Smoker's effect to restand 3 Don. Now I have 2 really good attackers here, my leader and Newgate, so I swing with Newgate. He takes a life, alright. He has no life left. So I put all my Don on my leader Smoker and swing for 13,000. And that's the win. Smoker wins. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, adios.